My name's Jason Jarrett. I'm an exercise scientist and an exercise physiologist. Every injury is unique and every fitness goal is unique. Work with me and you'll get the professional direction you need with your situation. Welcome back. A lot of people get discouraged by flare-ups, and it's completely understandable. You can be doing all the right things, you're doing your movement therapy, you're doing your exercises, you've been doing them for a while, your technique is apparently perfect, nothing wrong there, and bang, flare up. What happened? I'm trying to think, how did I move wrong? Well, you might not have moved wrong. You might have done nothing wrong and still had a flare up. Now, it's very possible and likely that your flare-up might have been due to other factors. People always want to blame the exercise and the movement for a flare-up. Always. We always want to do it. I even have to catch myself thinking, how'd the movement, what movement could have contributed? I've spoken about this plenty before, but never forget how much things like stress and nutrition and illness can contribute to spontaneous flare-ups of chronic pain. Really important for us to appreciate those lifestyle factors. So I guess my point here is we need to really, to a certain extent, particularly when we're beginning a new program, we need to expect flare-ups. Like we really do. If we're actually doing something worthwhile doing and it's significant, you're gonna have flare-ups. It's gonna happen. Because here's the problem, we're always having to walk a tightrope. We have to walk that tightrope. On the left side of that tightrope is flare up and aggravation and you've done too much. On the right side of the tightrope is decline, nothing. You're not getting flare-ups, maybe, you'll probably still get flare-ups, but you're also not improving your capacity. In fact, your capacity, your strength, your mobility, all that stuff's going down. And let me tell you, that side of the tightrope is a way worse side to be on than the other side. You're better off risking occasional flare-ups on your progress with increasing your capacity and movement than you are avoiding movement because you've had the occasional flare-up. My point here, guys, is that particularly when you begin a new program, or you're progressing the intensity or introducing new exercises, there's a much higher risk of flare-ups. It's going to happen. Please expect it. It's part of the journey. You've just got to expect those flare-ups. Look, I haven't been an exercise physiologist for 20 years, but I've been solidly working out myself for 20 years. I've got a chronic lower back injury. I've got chronic fatigue syndrome. I've been hit by a truck at a roundabout, had my ankle smashed into the bike. No broken bones, but I've had to work through that. I've had lots of issues over the past 20 years. That's part of the journey. The part of the journey is that you metaphorically get back on the bike, get back into the program, manage whatever injuries and illnesses you've got right now, because we've all got them. Very few people are excluded, particularly if you're over 25. Most people are going to have injuries and illnesses that they just have to manage. The good news is you have a lot of control to improve. You've just got to be reasonable with that journey. And I know I've used the metaphor of a hike before, so that's the way I see it. It's like hiking. Okay, so you've got different paths. You've got a few different paths available to you, and there's potential risk along the way, but it's going to be worth the journey. But you need to make cautious decisions, but you have to invest the time and energy. The path isn't going to walk itself. You can't just stand at the start of the path and wonder why you're never getting to your destination. But at the same time, the path does entail a little bit of risk. Everything in life does, really. But the risk is going to be more than worth it. You're better off traveling that road and taking the small risks inherent on that journey than you are standing still, not getting to your destination. In the hand, and it heals very slowly because of the blood supply. So it could take, a month or two to heal. His hand is in a cast, so can't exercise right? Wrong. Of course you can exercise. So we were even able to do squats and some of his rehab exercises, as well as some core exercises. We were able to put together a routine and modify exercises to make them suitable to the fact that he couldn't grip anything with his right hand. So it's an excuse to say that you can't exercise because you've got a broken bone, or because you've got a sprained ankle, or a what. It's an excuse. You're making excuses, and that's not an accusation, it's just a fact. I've been there myself. I mentioned briefly that when I got hit by a truck and my ankle smashed into my bike, luckily nothing broken, quite easily could have been, and I was off my ankle for several weeks. But do you think I stopped exercising? Of course I didn't. There was nothing wrong with my upper body. So I simply modified my routine to shift the focus away from anything that involved me having to stand and bear weight until I was able to do that. Why would we do this? Because your injury is going to heal faster if you're exercising appropriately. It's increasing blood supply and blood nutrients to the injury and the injured area. More blood nutrients to the area is going to heal recovery, and it's going to speed the recovery process. We know this for a fact. So it's not good enough to have an injury or even a flare-up and say, oh, I can't exercise. Sure you can, you just don't want to. And that's okay to not want to, but own it. Own that. Don't make excuses to yourself or to anybody else if you just don't want to, or you're feeling a bit down about an injury that you've recently acquired or a flare-up. You're feeling down. Own it. Own how you're feeling. Don't make excuses to yourself or to other people. You can exercise, and you absolutely should. If you're feeling unmotivated, that's a thing that can be dealt with. But until you're honest with yourself and honest with other people, no one can help you, and you can't help yourself. So got to not make excuses, got to think above the line, got to take responsibility and ownership for how you're feeling and what you are and are not able to do. Because when we start making excuses, no one can help you. Please feel free, and I encourage you to comment and subscribe, like the video, let me know what you think, and stay tuned for more videos.